Ash's friends. He has a lot of them, as you can see. But even if there are a lot of his friends and companions that he's had, would that mean that there would be a lot of Pokemon that they had? Well, no. No, there isn't. But could they beat a Pokemon Shield Nuzlocke? It's an interesting question. So I've made up some rules. Can't use held items. I can only catch Pokemon that Ash's friends have caught. If the Pokemon faints, it's dead and I have to release them. I am allowed to use potions, and I can't recatch the same Pokemon twice. Very standard Nuzlocke rules. But even if all of these rules are implied, could I technically beat Pokemon Shield and beat Leon with Ash's friends as Pokemon? Well, that's what we're going to find out today, and see if I can do this. I chose Scorbunny as my starter since it was the best out of all of them, which implied that Hop chose Grookey, the weaker one. So, first Pokemon to us. The next day, Hop wanted to kill his Grookey, so I did that. I killed him. He did. Making our way to the Slumbering Weald now, Dot wanted to kill more things, so I let him do that. He really likes to kill things. After meeting Ghost Dog, he's a ghost dog, Leon's Charizard ate a Wooloo, because we never see it again, and I make my way to Route 2 to catch a Grubbin. I name Grogu. The Pokemon's names are named after TV characters, so you'll see later on. They're all named after TV characters. Hop wanted to battle again, so I killed all of his Pokemon, including his weak Rookidee and his weak Monkey. We got our Dynamax band, and I headed out to Route 3 to catch a Lotad I named Rory. Okay, sure. Making our way to the wild area now, which it's okay, it's good. We caught a Bunnelby I named Whitney. Making our way to Motostock, all the gym leaders decided that they wanted to come out as if they were in Baywatch. Sure. Chairman Rose wanted to meet us, and I made my way out to battle some gym trainers, and as I was doing that, Dot evolved into a rabbit. Very good. But Rory didn't want to feel left out, so he also wanted to evolve. It's good. I caught a Drillbur in Galar Mine, and I named him Henry. Henry? I see these names and they're just not great. But anyway, we beat Bede and we made our way to Turfield now, where we met Milo, and I caught an Eevee I named Isa, because, sure. I decided to go and face Milo now, the man with no nose. He doesn't have a nose. But it didn't mean that he was gonna go down easily. He sent out Gossifleur, which I wasn't intimidated by because I have a fire starter, and Dot killed it with 2 flame charges. His first Pokemon was dead, right off the bat. Always choose Scorbunny, always. He sent out an Eldergloss, which again I wasn't intimidated by, so I just Dynamaxed Dot into an even bigger rabbit. Why does I Gigantamax a Dynamax? But, you get mixed up. Milo didn't like that very much, so he decided that he wanted to Dynamax his Pokemon too. Didn't want to feel left out. But anyway, Dot killed it with 2 max flares, and the first gym badge was easily acquired. No huss, no fuss, no coconuts. Definitely no coconuts. Yep, and we got our first gym badge added to our collection. So I lost the footage for the Nessa fight and some stuff that happened, so I'm gonna explain it in paint form. Yep. Here's paint. You see, I'm drawing that Route 5 fish. I think that's implying that I fished up a Magikarp, which you can see I am trying to draw here. Doesn't look like a Magikarp. I can see in my notes that I fished up a Magikarp, but it looks like a deflated balloon that has the country of Madagascar attached to it. Yep. Yeah, so I fished up a Magikarp I called the Doctor. Oh, you can guess what television series that's from. And then it evolved into a Gyarados. That's not a Gyarados, that's a pool noodle. Just saying, I can't draw very good. Wow, what a resolution. Yeah. Oh yeah, Grogu also evolved when we were fighting some trainers. I don't remember what trainer it was, but we definitely battled one, and then he decided that he wanted to evolve. But I think we actually did some raids. So, oh yeah, this is referring to the Nessa fight, in which Grogu obliterated everything with Thunder, which I had to TM for. Just, okay. Or I had a TM for something and he killed everything. Bug and electric, it's like Nessa's weakness. So, yep, fish. What's the yellow stuff coming out of him? I don't know what that is. What is that? I'm guessing that's supposed to be Dreadnought. That does not look like a Dreadnought. That looks like a snail has had an operation or something. Dreadnought's a turtle. Oh my god. My drawing is horrible. Yeah, so recap, I caught a Magikarp that evolved into a Gyarados. Well, cooked. Yeah, he was cooked. I got a Magikarp that evolved into a Gyarados. Grogu evolved into a Charjabug. I killed Nessa with only Grogu. And I don't remember a red box. What? I don't know what I'm doing here. Yeah, so that's the recap. Subscribe. Yep. You should subscribe, or I'll come into your house. And, actually I won't come into your house, never mind, that doesn't matter. Here's what the team is at for now, and, yep, pretty on par, and, oh, yep. We had to fight Bede another time. He is just, I hate him, but Doc killed his Solosis with 2 flame charges. Very nice, very crispy. That won't be, you'll be dead. Yep. Oh no. Yeah, I hit off a flame charge on the Gothita, but this Gothita turns out to be the vein of my existence for the next 5 minutes. Yeah, he gets Dot into the yellow, which I don't like, so I switch into the Doctor. He has Intimidate, by the way, forgot to bring that up. But he decides to use Psyshock again, and gets Doctor into the yellow as well. So I decided to heal him up, like any sane person would do at that moment in time. But he decides that he wants to punish me and use Psyshock again. The AI in this run, yep, just sound it Rory, same thing happened. And this was a misclick. I meant to switch into Grogu, but I accidentally switched into Henry, and a misclick killed Henry. I healed up Dot, which took out the Gothita, obviously. And his next Pokemon that came out was Hatena. Same thing happened. Dot killed it with 2 flame charges. Easy peasy. And his last Pokemon, Ponyta, was dead as well to 2 flame charges. But, yeah, our first death, and that was due to a misclick. So I had to release Henry, which was not good since I was going up against the fire type gym without a ground type, but it doesn't matter. I headed out the cave to the wild area and caught a Bonsweet I named Joyce. Only people who live in the UK will probably get that reference to a TV show. That's a big fly. The big fly is dead. After that, I went to Motostoke where Marnie wanted to battle me for the first time. Dot handled her Krogunk very easily. And then the doctor came out to kill her Scraggy, also very easily. And then her Moprickle went down to Dot's 2 flame charges. That was probably one of the easiest battles I've had so far in this run. After that, I decided to evolve Rory into a Ludicolo so that he could help on this gym for once. And Joyce evolved halfway through the gym trainer segment challenge. Now it was Kabu, which the doctor destroyed his Ninetales with a super effective waterfall. But then his Arcanine came out, so I decided to Dynamax the doctor so that he could hopefully finish the Arcanine off with 1 Max Geyser so I can get the Centiskorch. That didn't happen, and the Arcanine decided to go down to 2 Max Geysers. So now I'm on my last turn of Dynamax, and he sends out his Centiskorch, which he immediately Gigantamaxes. I pray that this Okos, but Max Geyser only gets down to half. He uses Max Flutterby, that does absolutely nothing to the doctor. So I decide to stall out his Gigantamax turns by healing the doctor up 3 times. Which, very simple thing to do, to be honest. After his Gigantamax turn was over, the doctor took out the Centiskorch with a Brain. It was almost disastrous, but we got the gym badge in the end. Gym badge number 3 was ours. Heading out of Motostoke now, I decided to go to venture to Hammerlock, which it's a big castle. Who would have known? Before I went out though, I decided to evolve Grogu into a Vikavolt, so it would be faster and more helpful. Chairman Rose hung out with us again, and he decided that he wanted to show me energy plans. And then Sonia wanted to show me lore. I didn't care much though, so I decided to head to Route 6, so I could continue on my quest. After fighting some gym trainers, none of them were very hard, we made our way to Stoneside, the home of the 4th gym. Yeah, there we go. I caught a Dwebble I named, wait for it, Bob, and I'm telling you, I never used this Dwebble. It sat in the box and rotted. But I then caught a Trapinch I named Sheldon. And this Trapinch I replaced Joyce with, since she wasn't going to be very helpful against the Ghost Gym and Gengar. A few max raids later, the team was all fully healed up, and also Isa evolved in between all that. So I decided it was time to take on Alistair after beating Hop, anyway. But in between the gym challenge, after beating this Corsola, Trapinch decided that he wanted to evolve into a Vibrava, which he then learned Dragon Breath, which will be very crucial later on. And after beating this old man, Dot decided to evolve into a Cinderace, which will be very helpful in this gym It was time to battle Alistair now, And I was very scared of his Gengar and his other Pokemon since I don't really have a super effective Pokemon for it. But we just went in with what we had. Dot took out his Yamask with one Pyro Ball, which I wasn't sure would happen, but it did. I swapped to the Doctor since I knew that his Cursula had Ancient Power, but after a curse I realised that I'd have to switch the Doctor back out. It's a shame how things just turn around like that. Yep. I switched into Sheldon, which killed the Cursula with 2 crunches. His next Pokemon was Mimikyu. Oh, this thing. Oh. Yep, after a crunch it got it down to the red, but it got Sheldon down to the yellow. So I switched him out for Cinderace, who I think, yep, used Shadow Sneak again and didn't do very much. But I decided that I would Dynamax Cinderace since I don't know why. But I killed the Mimikyu with a Max Flare, and then came out his very scary Gigantamax Gengar, which I wasn't sure if Dot would kill it. But thankfully, after one Max Flare, it got him almost down to red. One G-Max Phantasm later, Dot was in the red as well, but one Max Flare later and he was dead. That's a lot of Max Flares in the one gym. But Alistair was defeated very easily. Not easily. Bede wanted to fight again because he was doing terrorism work by, I don't know, doing something. Anyway, his Hatterene went down to a Pyro Ball, and we beat him very easily. It was no pushover. Sonia decided she wanted to reveal more lore to me, which I didn't want to know. So I made my way to Glenwood Tangle and eventually made my way till Ballonlea. I still have no idea how you pronounce that after 4 runs of this game. Didn't matter though, because I went to the wild area now to do some more raid dens. And I also caught a Piloswine I named... What did I name him? Walter. I switched him out for Vibrava since it was the fairy type gym and evolved him into a Mamoswine. He will be very good in this gym battle, and speaking of gym battle, here we are now. She sends out Weezing, so I send out Dot because I didn't have anything that would be crucial against it, but one Flame Charge and 1 critical hit for Pyro Ball kill it. Her Togekiss came out, which Walter killed it very easily with 2 Ice Shards, and her Mawile went down very easily. Next up was the Giant Cake. I would love to eat it though. Actually, I wouldn't like to eat it, but whatever. Dot killed it off with 2 Max Flares. The 5th gym badge was ours. I wasn't sure if that would be tougher than anything. We made our way to Motostock and Opal abducts or kidnaps Bede, but we never see him again after this, so hope they're doing well. Hop wanted to battle again, but he should really stop, and I catch a Togedemaru Actually, I don't name him because he stays in the box forever. That's... yeah. Stays in the box forever. I don't know why. He just wasn't very good. Anyway, we make our way to this place, and after a few max raid dens, I gave my team a lot of candies and steroids so that they could be on par to the gym. And I'm telling you, this gym has the most bull thing ever. You know, just watch. Just watch. It's horrible. Do I have to? Right. Made. That's... Why would there be one there? That's... I fell down 20 holes, which is more holes than you're supposed to fall into on this dumb gym. Dumb. Anyway, we made our way to Melanie with our ice types, which Dot was gonna kill everything. But she leads with Frostmoth, which is very frail, so Dot kills it with a super effective flame charge. Very easy. Darmanitan, I almost said Darumaka, was also the same fate as the Frostmoth. Ice-Q came out, which Dot also... No, it got onto the yellow. Yep. So I brought out Fike of Grogu, but after a very scary freeze dry, which... he was frozen. But it was fine, and Grogu killed it with a Thunderbolt. Her last Pokemon was Gigantamax Lapras, which is why I Dynamaxed Grogu in the hope that I could get a G-Max Thunderbolt. But she had other plans, like... I had other plans, like using a Hyper Potion, for instance. Which... A G-Max Ice did quite a lot than I was willing to. Anyway, that was the last turn of our G-Max, and I changed out Grogu into the Doctor, and this is how that went. The Doctor killed it with a Crunch, which that battle lasted more time than it was supposed to. I beat Hop for the 15th time and got the ability to travel on water, which I really don't like that you get it this far into the game. I wish they gave it to you after the Fairy type gym, but whatever. I caught an Axew, which is probably going to be the best Pokemon on my team apart from Dot, and I name him Drogon, because it's a very cool dragon name. And he evolved into Fracture. Couldn't evolve him into Haxorus at this moment, but a few Great Dens later, it was fine. Going to Spikemuth now. Apparently, the whole town has been shut off by the outside world. But, lucky for us, after beating Marnie, she knows a secret way in. Which, couldn't the people just walk like 5? Like, it's right there, guys. Can you not see it? Okay. Anyway, I taught Isa Dazzling Gleam, because she was going to be the main star in this. Did some raid dens later, and the team was all leveled up to go against Piers, which is the worst one because you can't Dynamax. Isa decided that she wanted to kill everything in here and Dazzling Gleam KO everything, making her way to Piers. Now Piers is an all dark type gym leader, but we have an Isa on our team, so it shouldn't be too bad if you think about it. But anyway, I'll lead off with Dot so that I could save Isa for last, and Dot kills the Scrafty with one Power Ball and a Flame Charge. He leads out with Malamar next, which foul plays getting Dot into the yellow, So I decided to use counter and kill it with that. It didn't kill it though, so Isa killed it with a super effective Draining Kiss. Next up, Obstagoon, and it was also killed by a super effective Drain Kiss. This is why Isa is the best. His last Pokemon was Skuntank, so Isa also kissed it to death. That should be a Pokemon move, but it's not. The second last gym badge was ours. After looking at Leon's Facebook, he took on a small cat, and Joyce evolved into a Sarina. Because I wanted to use her in this gym, because half of Raihan's Pokemon is literal ground types. But anyway, we make our way to the gym challenge, but it's not actually in the gym. It's actually in a castle tower for some reason. But anyway, it was time to beat the hardest gym challenge or gym in the game, which was Raihan. He sends out Flygon and Gigalith, so I send out Isa and Sarina. He kicks off the Sandstorm, which wasn't really relevant, and Isa kills the Flygon with her super effective Moonblast. I taught Isa Moonblast because it would be crucial. Sarina gets a super effective Grass Knot off of the Gigalith, and I send out the Doctor, since I knew that Cobra had paralyzed. Sarina killed the Gigalith with another Grass Knot, and like I said, the Sandaconda used Glare. His last Pokemon was Duraludon, which Gigantamaxed into the Shard. So, after a max rockfall on the Doctor, he died. The second death of the run was because of a fluke. Sarina tried to get some good damage off the Sandaconda, but I mean, yeah, I did send out Rory so that he could do some damage, but the Duraludon lost all of its turns, and so I sent out Isa to finish it off with a super effective Moonblast. But Isa was getting bullied by both of his Pokemon, but thankfully one Grass Knot killed the Sandaconda, and I Gigantamaxed Isa to make sure that I KO'd this thing. I was not leaving this up to chance, because I wanted revenge for the Doctor, and one Max Starfall later, it was dead. And that concludes the final gym badge of the game. But we had to release the Doctor. It got us so far, but we had to release him, said our goodbyes, and released him. The Doctor was gone. I switched into Drogon now, and this was the team we were leading to go to Victory Road. Drogon evolved into Haxorus, which was going to be very handy later on, and also, after battling through Victory Road, we finally made it to the last town of the game, which was basically London, but it's Wyndon. They replaced the L and the O with a Y and a W. But anyway, it was now time for the cup, or whatever you want to call it, the big thing that happens at the end. We had to battle Marnie for the last time, and I thought it was going to go pretty bad. But surprise me, Doc killed her Liepard with a double kick, and then decided to kill Scrafty with a double kick. Her next Pokemon was Toxicroak, which I was very scared of, so I switched out to Drogon, who I think killed it. Yep, killed it with an outrage. After killing Toxicroak, she then switched out to Morpeko, so I switched to Isa to Dynamax her. I keep getting mixed up with Gigantamax and Dynamax. Yeah, anyway, I Dynamaxed her, and one max Starfall later, the Morpeko, I think, died. You'll have to see. Yep, KO'd the Morpeko. Now came out our last Pokemon, Gigantamax Grimmsnarl. Forgot the name. Anyway, yep, Gigantamax Grimmsnarl, which Isa KO'd with a Max Starfall. All show and no talk. Marnie was beaten for the last time. But now we had to make our way to the last hot battle of the game. And you know that this was going to be very easy. He leads out with Dubwool, which Doc killed with 2 double kicks. I've killed the sheep so many times that it's unreal. But his Snorlax did way more damage than I'm willing to admit on it. But it didn't really matter since I switched to Drogon, who killed it eventually with a breaking swipe. And Snorlax went down. His next Pokemon was Corviknight, which Grogu killed with a super effective Thunderbolt. And then Doc came out to kill the little Pinurchin. But I decided to Dynamax because of his Dynamaxed Big Monkey. But a Paralyze and a Max Knuckle later, I only had 1 turn for his Rillaboom, which wasn't very good, as you might know. Anyway, Hop Dynamaxes his Rillaboom, and it becomes a bigger green monkey. 1 Max Quick later, and Hop survived it somehow. But I brought out Isa, who survived a Max Quake. I sent out Rory, who survived a Max Overgrowth, and his Dynamax days were over. I healed up. Actually, no, I didn't. I sent out Drogon, who eventually killed it with an outrage. Hop was finished for the last time. My god. Just get a life. After doing some shenanigans with some people, we made our way to Rose Tower, where we had to battle the Wicked Witch of the West, Olina. She's very scary. It wasn't very worth noting just that I killed her whole team with only Drogon. Actually, no, that's not true, but whatever. It was very easy. Olina became depressed, and we caught up with Leon and Chairman Rose discussing something which, God knows, probably not good at this point in time. I don't trust Rose anymore. The next day, it was time for the champion match. Wink wink. And Hop escorted me there. Making our way to Winden Stadium now, it was then time to the worst bit of this entire run, the bead fight. This fight, well, we'll just see. Anyway, Doc kills Mawile with a super effective flame charge 2 times, and then came out the Gardevoir, and I was very scared, so I switched to Joyce. 1 hypnosis later, and the Gardevoir went down with a Trop Kick. Rapidash came out, and I quickly switched Joyce out since she was on little no health, and Rory killed the Ponyta with 2 Giga Drains. Rory was becoming very good at Pokemon battles, even though I haven't used him at all. His next Pokemon was Gigantamax Hatterene, so I switched out to Aiza, who would probably survive a G-Max Fairy-type move, but I wasn't sure on it. But he then used Max Mindstorm, which my plan backfired very quickly. So I decided to heal Aiza up, but then his Hatterene ceased to Gigantamax, and I swapped out to Grogu, who paralyzed the Hatterene, but sadly, 2 Calm Minds later and a Dazzling Gleam, Grogu died. Doc came out and killed it with a super effective Iron Head. I taught him that just for this match, but we lost Grogu. I released him, saying our farewells, and he was gone. And after that, I decided to evolve Sheldon into a Flygon, since it would be very crucial to have a ground and flying dragon type on the team. And this is where we're standing for the, whatever you call them, the rematches. Anyway, we beat all of the gym trainers or gym leaders very easily. Raihan was the easiest out of all of them, and now it was time to face Leon, the guy with a cape. But Chairman Rose decides that he wanted to release the Darkest Day, and it didn't go too well for him, because Eternatus is just wreaking havoc on everything, and he wants Leon to clean up his mess. That's literally what's going on here. Me and Hop make our way to the Slumbling Weald, Hop's idea, not mine, and we pick up a shield, a rusty shield. That would be handy, sure. We decide to fight Chairman Rose, and his team is all steel types, so Dot just killed everything, but then came out as Kalparaja, and I had a little surprise for him, which maybe wouldn't go too well for him. Gigantamax Cinderace. I don't care if Go never used a Gigantamax Cinderace, it's just cool. And with a G-Max Fireball later, the Copperajah died. Leon tried to capture Termitus with a singular Pokeball, which didn't go too well for him. Could have used like a Master Ball or like an Ultra Ball, Leon. No, just a... Anyway, I had to come in and help them, and after defeating Eternatus, but not really, because it wanted to become Master Hand. But anyway, after 2 doggos came to help us, we caught Eternatus in a single little Pokeball. Now it was really time to battle Leon, for real this time, and this was the hardest fight in all of the run. Doc came out and killed the Aegislash with a super effective Flame Charge and Power Ball, and his Haxorus came out, so I switched to Aiza, and a couple of Fairy type moves and an Iron Head. Aiza dodged it and used a Moonblast. I reckon if that Iron Head hit, Aiza would have died there. Dragapult came out, Aiza killed it with... Actually no, she didn't, because it lasted on a singular HP. Mr. Rhyme came out. I sent out Dot to hopefully kill the Mr. Rhyme, but he was taken too low to continue. So I brought out Sheldon to hopefully kill it with an Earthquake. But Leon must have misclicked because he used a Thunderbolt, and Earthquake didn't even get it down to half. And sadly, Sheldon was killed by a Freeze Dry, killing him instantly. I swapped to Joyce to hope and kill it, but Mr. Rhyme did too much damage for her to continue, so I switched to Aiza, who eventually killed the annoying Mr. Rhyme. This thing was very annoying. He sends out Inteleon, so I decided to send out Joyce, who I healed up. Would have been helpful if I had an electric type, but Joyce killed it with 2 Truck Kicks. His Infebible Charizard came out, so I decided to switch to Rory, who I knew would die to it, but I decided to stall out 2 Gmax turns of it. 1 Max Airstream and Gmax Wildfire later, Rory was sadly dead. I brought out Joyce, who also died to it, but their sacrifices would not be in vain because I switched to Drogon to hopefully kill this thing once and for all. He used Air Slash that got Drogon down to half, and an outrage later it only got him down to half. One more move and Drogon was dead, but Drogon avoided a fire blast and killed the Charizard with one final outrage. I have proved that you can beat Pokemon Shield by only using Pokemon that Ash's friends have used. This has been the most challenging thing I have ever done in my life, and it is possible to do it. And that's it. So, goodbye.